Hey Walking Dead fans, Nat Frankenstein here. Today I'm doing a recap of the mid-season return. It was episode 9 of season 6. It's called No Way Out. It was directed by Greg Nicotero and it was amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend you favorite this video and go watch the episode and then come back, because I will include spoilers in here, being a recap. I'm going to be talking about my favorite bits. I don't want you guys to crack it and say you didn't tell me there are no spoilers, because there are going to be spoilers. So go watch it if you haven't watched it already. If you have, let's get right into it. I guess you could say this the return season kind of went off with a bang. It was a bit of an explosive start, if you would. So we pick up where we left off last season, which was with the post-credit scene where Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham are confronted by Negan's gang. They're still, being confronted and, they're trying to, I guess Negan's group is trying to assert their dominance, and one of the members takes Daryl around the truck that they're in to look, suss out if they had any other goodies with them. In the meantime, the leader of the group, he's threatening to kill Abraham and Sasha, and I thought he was going to, and I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna have deaths like legit in the first minute of the show, what the hell. But Daryl kind of makes an appearance with his RPG and just goes pew and blows them all up. So that was kind of, the explosive start to the season. But I've written, man, I wrote some notes, you guys, and now I've got to scroll because I was messing around with them. How silly. Okay. So that I thought that was a really great way to start the season, which, I think it was a really great opener. Kind of, in hindsight, when you look back at it, it really kind of set the tone for how the whole episode was going to be. So I really, really like that. We go back to Alexandria, and Rick and Jesse and her kids and Michonne and Gabriel and Carl and Judith, they're, still covered in zombie guts, and they're trying to get away, and Rick formulates a plan about getting to the quarry and getting some cars and then coming back to Alexandria and saving the rest of the people. And Father Gabriel, as much as I hate him, because I do hate him, he does a very noble thing and offers to look after Judith, take her to the church and look after her. And I didn't think Rick would let him do it, but he did. And, Gabriel kind of made the promise that he would look after Judith, and he did. He stuck by his words, which was, kind of a nice thing to say. It was he just kind of stepping up and being a man, I guess. So that was kind of cool. So anyway, Gabriel takes Judith back to the church, and we cut to Glenn, who, again, is with Enid. They're formulating a plan to also get into the church. Well, they're formulating a plan on how to go and save Maggie, because obviously Maggie's in distress. She climbed up that tower, and, there's a horde of walkers at the base, and she's obviously trapped. So Glenn and Enid manage to get into the church, and from there they formulate a plan to save Maggie. And Glenn, I always worry about Glenn because he is such a good-natured person, and we've seen his the good nature of him backfire, especially with Nicholas being the prime example. And every time Glenn comes on, and he was kind of talking to Enid and telling her about, I wanted you to keep the faith, and I wanted you to have faith in the people of Alexandria and believe in Alexandria. And every time I hear him do these heroic speeches, I'm just kind of like, don't. Just don't. Remember where this got you, So the one thing I love about Glenn is that his characters always stayed true to, I guess, the morals that he has. But at the same time, I kind of wish sometimes he'd just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Just do whatever you want. I'm going to just look after me. But he's not that kind of person. So anyways, we go from Glenn and Enid to the wolf that Morgan wouldn't kill, who kidnapped Denise, the nurse Denise. And he's taken her hostage, and they're also trying to formulate a getaway. And I really like, which you've probably, if you've watched my Walking Dead videos before, you've probably noticed that I talk about Nurse Denise. She's played by Merritt Weaver, who also plays another nurse in Nurse Jackie, and I just adore her. So I want her to live. I want her to survive for at least the rest of this season, because I really enjoy watching her as an actress. She's really great. But so they're trying to escape from Alexandria as well. We go back to Rick and the group, who still covered in zombie guards, trying to get to the quarry. And Sam, at the worst possible time ever, starts having a flashback of what Carol said to him, which was, you know, the monsters are out there and they're going to get you and they're going to eat you. And, you know, just Carol being normal Carol, that's just what she does. She scares children. But Sam just has a major freak out. And lo and behold, he lets go of Rick's hand. He starts freaking out. Jesse's trying to calm him down. And then he gets eaten. And you know what? Most Walking Dead fans probably rejoiced at that very moment. And I know it's a terrible thing to say because he's a kid. Like, he's a kid, you know? But I was happy when he died. I'm sorry. Because you see the anguish in Jesse's face. Clearly it's her child. She's just witnessed him being attacked and eaten. But I'm just like, you deserve that, you little shit. You should have shut up. You do what your mother says. But, so yeah, so Sam gets eaten, and it just sets forth this chain reaction that had myself and my boyfriend on the edges of our seats. And but it got to the point where I'm just like, tears in my eyes, because I'm like, oh my God, I can't take this. This is too much for me. This is too much. But so Sam gets eaten, and then Jessie starts freaking out. Next minute, she gets eaten. She gets bitten, and walkers are all over her, and she's grabbing onto Carl, and Carl's like, oh, let me go. I got to get away from you because, you know, you're being eaten. And Jessie won't let go, and Rick, I felt for Rick. I really did, because, you know, you see the anguish in his face, and he loved Jessie so much, but, you know, he can see that Jesse's not letting go of Carl, so he just gets his axe and he's like, bam, bam, and he kind of hacks her wrist off so Carl can get free. Of course, we still have Jesse's kid, Ron, who has the gun, and he pulls the gun on Rick, and he's like, it's your fault. And I'm like, oh, shit, things gonna get crazy now. And before he manages to shoot, Michonne kills him, but he still gets a shot off, and he shoots Carl in the eye. Now, for most of you who read the comics, you will probably have known that this was coming. I knew of Carl getting shot in the eye. I haven't actually read all the comics yet, but I knew that that's what happened in the comics. Compared to the comics to the show, how it happened, I'm not sure if it's similar. I'm not sure if it was Ron that shot him also in the comics. I think it was, but I'm not entirely sure. But, oh, it was shocking. I couldn't catch my breath. It was just so much going on. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is so amazing. So anyway, Rick and Michonne, you know, Rick kind of scoops up Carl and starts running, and Michonne's running, and I'm just like, oh, these people are truly fucked. What's gonna happen? But it goes from that to the wolf and Denise trying to escape, and the wolf gets bitten, which everyone's like, yeah, screw you, guy. But Denise was kind of like, I'll help you if you get me to the infirmary, and you know, Carol shoots him just before she does manage to get to the infirmary. So the wolf dies, and Carol gets her wolf kill just as she intended, which I kind of personally took pleasure in. So that was really good. What else happened then? Oh, so Glenn and Enid goes back to them, and they're saving Maggie, and Glenn, of course, decides he'd be the distraction, and the walkers start going after him, and then all of a sudden he's cornered, and I'm like, oh my god, he survived walkers already. You know, he had to live under a dumpster for a bit just to survive walkers, and now he's going to go this way because he was truly cornered. I thought they were going to eat him, and it was shot very cleverly. I give it to Greg Nicotero. I think he's a wonderful director, because the way it looked, like the horde was closing in on him, and I'm like, he is being bitten right now. But he wasn't, which was great. Abraham and Sasha save him. I can't remember if Daryl RPG'd some of them or not. He might have, but I just can't remember because I was just so like, oh my god, too much. It's too much. Speaking of Daryl, though, Daryl does create another diversion, and that was setting the lake on fire in hopes that the horde would kind of go towards the lake and kind of, you know, get away from everyone else. And then like everything just kind of goes crazy. Rick is just like, oh, I'm getting revenge for Carl, so he goes out and he just starts killing zombies, and then Michonne goes out, and then, you know, Alexandrians start going out, and then it's kind of like everyone unites and goes out and starts slaying zombies, and then we kind of pick it up after all the carnage. You know, we see the survivors, and they're outside the infirmary, and, you know, they all look beat, but they're alive, and that's the main thing. And once we go inside the infirmary, Daryl's getting stitches, and then, you know, Rick's sitting with Carl, and Carl's obviously unconscious, but Rick's talking about how, you know, when he got to Alexandria, he didn't think these people were anything, but having seen what they did, you know, with the walkers that night, he kind of finally found faith in them, and he wants to rebuild. He wants to rebuild Alexandria, and he wants Carl to experience a new world, and a new good world, one that he can live in and thrive in. And you know, we see at the end kind of Carl, his fingers move and grasps Rick's, which that was how the episode ended. But it was, it's one of the greatest episodes recently, maybe one of the greatest episodes. It was amazing. So, as I mentioned, you know, Greg Nicotero, he's not only a wonderful visual effects guy and special effects guy, but he's a wonderful director, and I just think that this episode was just shot beautifully, and it was just so action-packed. Like, I wasn't expecting it, you know, like I'd been reading about how the end ass of season 6 was gonna be really intense, but like I was not prepared for this carnage. I was not prepared for this at all, but I just loved it. I think it's really set up the end half of the season really nicely. So I'm interested to hear what you guys thought about the Walking Dead No Way Out episode. If you watched it, let me know what you thought. Let me know what your favorite part was. And yeah, I'll be doing Walking Dead recaps for the rest of the season. So if you're interested in watching them and hearing what I have to say about them, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It only takes a little click. You can do it. I know you can. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you leave me comments, because I love talking to Walking Dead fans. And until next time, you guys, I'm Nattie Frankenstein, and I will see you later.